What is going on, garden fans? Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. I am at the home site today and with Permaculture Homestead Jr. And we're going to take a trip to the front yard to show you how I'm using edibles to landscape my property. Looks a lot different up there than it does back here. Come on back and check it out. All right, garden fans, as you can see, I live in suburban small town America, USA, and in an effort to maximize food production, I'm doing my best to incorporate edible plants into my front yard landscape, and I'm trying to do it as tastefully as possible. Certainly I'm not going to have a wild, unkept food forest like in my backyard here in my front yard. That would just upset the neighbors. So I'm doing my best to incorporate food items into my food forest little by little. Now everybody has a septic access here in their front yard. You'll see the white top septic access there. So first off, I'm trying to grow things here that do not have a deep taproot. Pineapple, guava, and elderberry are those two items, plus mint, spearmint, as a ground cover under these things. So I don't want to grow something with a deep taproot that's going to get into my septic system. So I have some shallow rooted plants. I love the pineapple guava because it is evergreen, so it never drops its leaves. And it definitely gives me a bit of a privacy hedge here on the front of my house. You can't really see what's going on the front door. Pineapple guava at this time of year is starting to bud up. We're gonna have some flowers coming on very shortly. And then the elderberry behind it is already starting to get a bit tall. I'm very aggressive with my pruning on the elderberry. You can see right here how I prune them at least once a year down to about 4 feet tall, and they will always come back thicker and more dense and more productive than ever. So elderberry, pineapple, guava, and mint seems to be a good companion mix here for my front yard septic tank. And then for the rest of the house, let's talk about it. I got this holly bush here that's been pruned and shaped up. At some point, I'm going to take that out and add a fruit tree. Right next to that is an Iliagnus, multifloria, gumiberry, and then another one of those pineapple guava. Now, at some point in the future, this is also flowering. At some point in the future, this pineapple guava is going to get large and bushy, and it'll kind of take up most of the space here. By that point, what I'll do is trim that Iliagnus all the way down to the ground, and we'll just have one big central pineapple guava shrub. I also have some useless old boxwoods here. A future project is to, believe it or not, pull these out and then put another combination of pineapple guava and Iliagnus right next to it. For the time being, the boxwoods that are here are actually housing wild blackberries. So the blackberry vines are covered over this, they're on top of it, they're over it, they're under it. We got blackberries all over the place. So I've turned a non-productive shrub into a productive fruit-bearing shrub. But right now it does look a bit unkept, a bit messy. My future goal is to just wipe this all the way out and add another pairing of, once again, pineapple guava and Iliagnus, shaping them like everybody else does in the yard. Now the centerpiece of this whole thing is the fruit tree. This is an apricot tree. It's got some bulbs growing underneath it, daffodils. And this apricot is producing this year. This is a fairly new addition to the yard. This is the first year it's actually started setting fruit. And we've got quite a few apricot on this tree for the first time since it's been in. It is the centerpiece, it's the focal point. It has, like I said, these bulbs, these daffodils underneath it. And then also I've got this thick, dense oregano growing as a ground cover, kind of to help suppress the weeds. Right next to the tree, we have a shrub, and this is a pomegranate. It is going to flower. I have another pomegranate in my backyard that this gets cross-pollination with, so definitely these get cross-pollinated. I don't just have the one. And I do try to shape and prune this guy as we go throughout the year. And then on the very back side, we have another small bit of elderberry. Same story with the pruning. I chop them till about 4 or 5 feet tall every year. Very aggressive with the pruning, and they will always come back taller and more productive. So ultimately, I've got the tallest shrub species on the back side. I've got the smaller shrub next to it, and then the tree to bookend it right there. Now, amongst all this, what you probably can't see is the nitrogen-fixing Iliagnus. That's right, we got an Iliagnus hiding back here. This is my chop and drop sacrificial species. At some point it's going to be chopped all the way down to the ground, and that nitrogen in the roots will become bioavailable to the plants nearby. So it's basically a fertilizer plant. And at some point I might move it or just chop it all the way down and put another Elaeagnus right here next to the apricot tree, and then another pineapple guava shrub. So that's it, garden fans. This is my front yard food forest. I'm doing the best I can to grow food as tastefully as possible here in the suburbs, without pissing off my neighbors. So if you got any questions about anything, just ask. Please like, share, and subscribe as always. Thanks for coming out to check it out. God bless.